We're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Live from the GME studio, it's Good Morning Entrepreneurs.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning Entrepreneurs.
Are you an entrepreneur who has felt like you were all alone on your business adventure? Well, you're in the right place.
You know, being an entrepreneur can be lonely and challenging at times, looking for people to bounce ideas off of and get feedback.
Welcome to Good Morning Entrepreneurs,
the show designed by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs just like you.
Keep watching for your dose of entrepreneurial fun with the Roving Reporters and, of course, Kim and Carrie.
As we like to say around here, buckle up, Buttercup.
Good morning, entrepreneurs, and welcome to show number 87. We're so glad you joined us today. I'm Kim White. I am the founder and fierce leader of the My Sexy Business team and community, and I am joined by the beautiful Denise Millet. Denise is the findability queen herself. She makes tech simple for all of us. I will call her a tech whisperer because she knows how to do so many things which just blows our mind. So welcome, findability queen herself.
Well, thank you, Ms. White. It's so nice to spend time with you. Thank you.
We got the royal crew going on.
We do. I should have said princess. So, Kim, before we dive on in, we should talk about who the show is for. And this show is for entrepreneurs all throughout the different parts of their journey, whether you're just thinking about whether you want to start a business, whether you've jumped in and you're green and you're figuring it out, or you've been in business for years. This show is all about showing you different ways to do things so that you can see what's possible if you're looking for ideas. And, you know, we want to be living proof for the world that we actually do things pretty messy around here. We dive in with, without both shoes on and do all those funky things that make us look pretty human. So
I love it, Denise.
Well, human is human, right? So are you ready to start, Kim? You ready to dive in?
I am ready, Denise Millet.
Good. Well, let's jump right into entrepreneur land.
Well, today's theme in Entrepreneur Land, which is where we live, I say, is being inspired and inspiring. I just want to give a little clarification to this because on the days it gets hard in business or life, sometimes we just need to have a little inspiration. We need a little bit of, looking out and seeing someone else doing something. But I want you to think today also of who are you inspiring, as Donna Bender would say, because you're inspiring someone with what you do in your business as well. So that is our theme for today.
I love it. I love it. It's so true. Goes both ways. And as a result of what we do about inspiring others and inspiring ourselves, we keep track of a lot of things that we like to remember so that we can truly understand how much we do accomplish. So let's take a look at the GME Chronicles this week to see what we've done.
Thank you, Kim and team. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the GME Chronicles. I am Jill Olish, and we have some updates to share with you today on November 15th, 2024. The GME Chronicles is a celebration of moving the needle in our businesses, and we want to share these numbers out loud with you to show it is possible when we come together. Last week included 4 Pilates classes with Kat, the Age Agitators Club with Yvonne, Groundwork Brigade Open House, rounds 28 and 29 of Fire Up Mastermind, and 2 sessions of Groundwork Brigade Mastermind. Adam posted 5 new interviews. My Sexy Business posted 1 new blog and was live with show number 86 of GME. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss another show or clip. 6 new podcast episodes dropped last week. Go give them a listen. Good Mama Outspoken with episode 14, Sisters in Service with episode 172, Mucked Up My Self-Care with episode 81, 5 and 15 Interviews Leadership Series with episode 41, Late Bloomer Living with episode 205, and Buckets and Boomgates with episode number 83. On Clubhouse, Adam and Denise hosted the My Sexy Business Not Creepy Room on Wednesday, and on Thursday we held the 13th Walk and Talk with the My Sexy Business community. You can connect with the Roving Reporters through the GME directory. Head over to mysexybusiness.com/GME to connect with your favorite Roving Reporter. Last week's number of 26 brings our grand total to 5,938 amazing things done collectively by this community since December of 2021. We are looking forward to more updates coming up next week. If you are ready to join in on the fun around here, you can find us coming up at the TNT website workshop. If you want to simplify giving your business a home online with a website, join us on Thursday, November 21st. We also have Website Royalty, which is the accountability group for those who have used our Kajabi affiliate, also on Thursday, November 21st. And lastly, we have Hope to Hope coming up on Friday of next week at 6 p.m. Central. That's November 22nd. We hope to see you at one of those events. Back to you in the GME studio.
Sorry, I'm dancing. Cheers to those numbers. It's amazing how much got done.
I have my Sisters in Service podcast mug that I got from the icon herself, Kat Corchado. So there's
And
that.
I have my congratulations on my book mug. This will be findable. If they can't find you, they can't do business with you.
That from the findability queen herself. So
It made it through the rotation today. So it came out of the cabinet today.
well, cheers to those numbers. And it blows my mind every week when we see them and realize like how much everybody is doing.
Yes, it really, really does. And it does help focus you that you are doing things of note and of value. So I love that segment. Our next segment, Kim, I think we want to talk about from one of our sponsors, the Sisters in Service podcast. They share the Military Minute with us, and we are going to head over to that right now.
How do you keep your confidence up when things get hard?
Oh, that's a good question. When things get hard, let me start this way. When I was younger, I used to worry about everything. Whether I had control over it or not, I worried about it. And as I've gotten older, I realize that worrying about it isn't going to change anything. So when I come across something that's difficult, that I have no control over, I say to myself, you're going to be okay. You're going to get through this because you've been through harder things. So just breathe, do what you can, and see what happens. But above everything else, you're going to be okay.
Gosh, I love that. We're all sitting in the green room, like nodding our heads, like,
I know.
yeah.
So Kat is one of those people that fits the theme of the show today for sure, because she is very inspiring. She inspires me on the daily. I will tell you, she has changed so much in my life, and I appreciate her so much. So Kat, hats off to you for being an inspiration to us today on the show. So yes, she's blowing us kisses in the green room.
Ditto.
We want to share just a second about something we just started a couple weeks ago, and it is going, I'm going to call it swimmingly. We definitely have had some messy moments, but it has been so fun learning how to do this and how to have a live audience during our podcast Buckets of Boom Gates. We want to invite everyone, if you want to see the messy behind the scenes of podcasting, I think we are open to letting you see all of the messy. And it has been so fun watching the audience while we're, recording, and they're watching us record, and they're seeing the green room. And anyway, it's very fun. But we want to put a little invitation out here of, if you'd like to participate as a live audience member for Buckets and Boom Gates podcast, then let us know, and we can get you access so you can come and hang out with us in another space.
And it really is helpful, aside from being fun, because there's a lot of moving parts to doing recordings and audio and video and all the platforms. So it's not easy to test all that stuff when you're by yourself, but it's really cool when you get to watch somebody else do it and you go, oh, that's what they have to worry about, that, and you have to think about that. And so it's kind of cool.
Thank you, Denise Millet.
I didn't make today's, but I made the last one. So
you were very helpful during it too. Let me just put that out there. I'm telling you, she's the tech whisperer.
Stop. I'm one of many. So if you're done with that, we should talk about. I'm sorry.
I'm done with that, Denise. I'm done with that.
We want to head over to our good friend Donna Bender, who is talking about surprise and delight marketing and choosing the right sustainable branded merch.
Donna Bender is a master givologist, branding product strategist, corporate marketing trainer, published author, host of The Big Show and Tell, summit leader, and GME Roving Reporter.
Thanks, Kim. This is Donna Bender coming to you today as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Today's surprise and delight marketing segment is part 2 of a 2-part series on how to choose the right sustainable branded merchandise if you want to make an environmental impact. And what question should you ask? So question number 3 is, if there's proof that this product was made from recycled materials. Well, this particular tote bag comes with a hang tag that says aware, and it lets you know that there was a tracer detected in the product. It also gives you the website so you can follow the true story. And it's a stylish and responsible choice for promoting your brand. Number 4, is there a more sustainable alternative to this backup charging product that serves the same purpose? Yes. A solar-powered power bank, instead of using traditional power and electricity, uses renewable energy, providing a more sustainable option for charging devices on the go. And number 5, is the product designed for easy disassembly, recycling, or composting at the end of its life? Well, this book, the cover and the paper is made from, apple pulp and other vegetable fibers that are ground and emulsified into an organic material. Hopefully, by having a few questions answered, you have a better understanding how to use sustainable products to market your business and make an environmental impact. Back to you at the GME studio.
Wow. Apple pulp, that's a new one I hadn't heard, right?
Yeah. She's got so many great ideas, I just have to tell you.
Those apples they squish for cider. I mean, go figure. I'm sorry, I'm being silly. I think Donna has shared so many gems with all of us in everything she does. And she has this amazing show that she does once a month called The Big Show and Tell. And I think everybody should head on over to her YouTube page at Donna Bender Giving and check out all of her clips and videos and the segments from all of her previous shows, because there's some gold there.
She just started the channel recently and has already had great traction. I just want to say that. So definitely check her out and go and see some of the funny things that she does. Let me just say that. Some of her fun.
Don't give it away. It's too much fun. Another great person that we have in our community is Jill Olish, and everybody wants it, but she is a mama entrepreneur, and she is going to share with us what she does to cope with overwhelm. as she juggles her life.
Jill Olish is the ambassador of moms, founder and leader of the Mama Outspoken Village, published author, podcast host, executive team leader of My Sexy Business, host of the Vision Board Party, associate producer, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim. I wanted to share a little bit more about overwhelm today. And last week I had been asked, I talked about being asked on if I ever get overwhelmed. And yes, I do. I also talked about sticky note time and how that has been one of the things that does get to pull me out of an overwhelm or prevent it sometimes. But when I get overwhelmed, what do I do to cope? And I know we all have ways that we try, and there's definitely some trial and error through it, but it's probably my self-care. And I love that I've been able to explore this self-care as a way to cope with overwhelm through my podcast with Linda Bonney for the Mucked Up My Self-Care podcast. That conversation and figuring out a lot of the ways that we're able to introduce self-care into our day to kind of pull us out of that overwhelm has been instrumental in keeping me from even experiencing any overwhelm. My favorite thing is to go outside, be in nature, and really start grounding to the earth. So barefoot in the grass just sets my brain right back to where it needs to be in reality, making sure my feet are where they are and being like, hey, get out of the stars and let's focus. So that's my favorite way to cope with my overwhelm and to kind of pull myself out of that. And I hope that you might be able to start introducing some self-care into your day if you are starting to struggle with overwhelm and trying to cope or at least pull out of it. Back to you in the GME studio.
So could I do self-care like 12 hours a day? Would that work?
I guess you could, Denise.
Okay, gotta tell you, I look at Jill and I just need a nap. She does so much stuff. She is also the creator of the Mama Outspoken Village, which is a place for moms and entrepreneurial moms and just moms to get together and share all their experiences and inspirations to kind of help each other out. And her next gathering is coming up Saturday, November 23rd at 8 a.m. Central Time. So if you're looking for any information on that, head over to mamaoutspoken.com.
Jill is doing amazing things in this world. She's making a huge impact. She's definitely an influencer. And if you're a mom who is looking for just another mom to relate to, I think Jill is amazing. Her segment comes every week on this show, but she does so much more than that. She's on multiple podcasts. And one of the podcasts that she mentioned in the segment is Mucked Up My Self-Care podcast with the co-host Linda Bonney. And I'd like to take just a second to say out loud how much I appreciate Jill, of course, but how much I appreciate Linda Bonney, because she gifted me with something a couple of years ago that we're still using. And I just want to give a little backstory quickly. I had hired someone to do a video commercial for me for a conference we had coming up, and went to the studio, recorded with them, did all the things that they asked of me, and they gave me back something that I will just say it was less than anything I desired. And it was the day of the conference. They had failed to meet the deadlines. They had failed to do all the things. So sometimes paying up front is not the best choice. Let me say that. Yeah. Linda heard about it, and she, and I'm going to call it invested. She invested in the making of a commercial for us. And once you see the commercial, you understand what I mean by invested, because it was a big deal. It was a big deal. But Linda, thank you for this commercial we're going to play. And it is in reference to the Hope to Hope project that is coming up quickly. So when my 13-year-old son passed away 2 days after Thanksgiving in 2001, I went into shock. As the sun rose over the trees the next morning, I stared in disbelief. How could it just come up like nothing had happened? At that moment, I honestly felt like I was going to die from the pain and confusion I felt. How could the sun come up? How could I go on? I felt broken and raw. Over time, I began to heal and learned those cracked open places could be used for a purpose. I started to serve bigger, love others deeper, and started actually living my life again, even with the broken places. During my journey, I found so many other people with broken places who needed hope too. Several years ago, I set an audacious goal for serving others who were feeling discouraged or hopeless. I was given an opportunity to set up an online conference for others to share their stories and how they got past their brokenness. It was amazing to see how being vulnerable and sharing transparently impacted so many lives. So I did it again, then again, then again. Well, you get the point. Join me for the Hope to Hope conference as my guests tell their stories of overcoming in their personal lives and in their businesses. Some things are inflicted on us, and some things we inflict on ourselves. Either way, we all need hope. Hope that we can survive. Hope that we can heal. Hope that we can really live again.
So beautiful.
It is a beautiful commercial, and I'll be honest, it has been very revelatory. Is that the right word?
Yes.
This year of understanding the evolution of it, understanding how it started off with me desperately needing hope. I didn't know if I was going to survive the loss of my child. And then turned into conversations and then into interviews that inspired me, back to the theme of the show. They inspired me to keep going. And then it turned into a conference. It turned into all of these things that it wasn't something I set out to do, but it's happened.
Yes, it's amazing. And you and I have known each other for probably 3 years now. This is my third round of this, and just understanding the depth of how much you've accumulated in discussions and interviews and personal stories and all the different facets of hope. It's an amazing project that you've been working on, and you say you didn't even plan it, but it's evolved and it's amazing.
Thank you, Denise. I think that one of the things that happened along the way is it started to attract other inspirational people who I didn't know before, maybe asking to do an interview, or I met them along the way. And all of those were not recorded, which I'm sad to say that, because some of them were live conferences that we didn't record. But we've taken the live recorded ones, the ones that we did online, and we actually have evolved yet again. And we are going to be premiering the Hope Dealers movie November the 22nd at 6 p.m. Central. And if you are someone who is inspiring or needs inspiration, either side and anything in between, we invite you to come and be with us for Hope to Hope. It is definitely an amazing thing that came from the biggest loss in my life, but learning to live alongside that and have this collaboration piece of everyone coming together. It's one of the most beautiful things. I'm just going to say that.
It is. And I love that. Well, I don't love, but the time of year can be very hard for people that have had trauma and tragedy and loss in their life. And the holidays are very difficult. And I appreciate that this is there for anybody who needs someone who understands.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you, Denise, for being a part of it too, because I will just say out loud ahead of time, Denise has helped in tremendous ways to make this happen too. So I want to say thank you out loud to
There's an
you.
army of us. It's not just me.
But you're the one I get to talk to next.
That's
maybe.
right. Okay, so I'll take it all today. I've already given it to the next person.
Well, if you are tuning in to Good Morning, you are. If I'm talking to you, you are. So sorry, I get a little melty over this, but you are tuning in to Good Morning Entrepreneurs, and we're so glad you're with us today for show number 87. Today's theme is being inspired and inspiring. I think whenever you are needing inspiration, if you look around, you'll find someone, but sometimes you're the person that someone's looking at, that you're inspiring them. I feel like we have such a great crew around here. Our roving reporters inspire me on the daily. So I thought I would try, y'all, this is a big fat TRY. I'm going to try to share where you go for the Good Morning Entrepreneurs directory of roving reporters. So let me hit the right button. Let me get to the right button and see if I can make this happen. So if you go to mysexybusiness.com/GME, little GME, and you scroll down, Denise, you're going to have to tell me if everybody can see.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
See us all waving.
So there's all the cutie pies waving, but there's this big red button right here that if you push that will take you to the directory. And that will give you direct links to each one of the roving reporters, and you can go and connect with them. They're all very amazing humans. I know, Kat, thank you for cheering me on in the green room, because I'm like, oh, if I push the wrong button, but we made it. We did it.
Yay! The crowd goes wild. Yay! All right, Kim, I guess we got to keep rolling here, right? We need to talk about the question of the week. Every week we take a question from some of the mail or the messages. We get feedback from the show. And this week's question is, where can I get inspiration for my business plans?
I absolutely love that we're able to connect questions with the themes, because I think this is an Adam Rothenberg special. I'll just say that. He does such a great job of connecting the dots for us. But I think inspiration can come from without and from within. I think sometimes our business plans may be longer term than we want them to be. We want things now. I'm that way. I want to be able to have it right now. I don't want to wait a year from now. But if you will look at your business plans and you will be realistic with it, businesses don't become an overnight success overnight. You know, I always laugh and say it only took me 40 years, well, 41 to be exact, 41 years to be an overnight success. So you have to look at that in your business plan and make sure you're not setting yourself up to be disappointed. But I also think you got to go the other side of that too, of you want them to be inspiring enough that it's not easy. You want it to be stretched. You want to be able to grow and do the things that you want to do. But inspiration, I think if you look around at all the other business owners that talk about the messy behind the scenes like we are here, and share realistic things like, well, it took 7 years to get this particular business off the ground. It took a year to do this. It took 2 years to develop this product. I think whenever you start looking around, you'll get inspiration, and you'll start finding the people that are kind of doing what you're doing, similar things.
I love that, Kim. And I have to say that I agree with you that getting inspiration is a lot about what you have inside yourself and what you really want, and patience. But I also think there are so many people to watch their outcome and want that without understanding how they got there. And so it is kind of slowing down, listening to yourself, building the life you want, not just a business. And I think that can allow you to incorporate inspiration into the process other than just measuring up against people that are at their end already, so.
What is it comparing your last or your first
Chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 20.
Yeah, you got to remember, like, there's a lot of things that you don't see when you see people on their vacations on Insta.
Right.
There's a lot of people that don't tell you how messy it was to get there.
But, there's nothing wrong with listening to inspirational people that want to share their journey. It's just don't start at their end game and measure yourself against them. So anyway, my soapbox put away now.
Only temporarily, if you know us around here.
Got it in the pocket. I can pull it out.
So I want to head over to our next segment, which is the icon herself, Kat Corchado. She is half of the Salty Sisters. Her and Yvonne Marchese are the Salty Sisters. And let me tell you, they can be pretty salty and pretty spicy on some topics. And one of them is Kat's segment on health and wellness for entrepreneurs. Kat Corchado is a proud military veteran, health and wellness professional, founder of Small Space Pilates, movement specialist for injury, illness, and cancer recovery, podcast host, published author, and GME roving reporter.
In a previous episode, we talked about your no perfection policy, and you did a great job of explaining it. Now, my follow-up to that is, I want to know, why do you feel it is important to make sure that everybody knows you have a no perfection policy?
If you've ever walked into a class, whether it's at the Y, at the club, everyone's in there, they're talking, and you kind of sneak into the back and you feel this trepidation. You feel this, oh, do I belong here? When you have that no perfection policy in place, people start to relax a little bit. They start to be a little bit more of themselves, and they start to understand, okay, this isn't about me looking good while I do this, although you can still do that too. It's just about moving your body and getting used to moving your body.
Can I make a confession to you?
Absolutely.
Okay. I feel like when I first started taking group fitness classes, I was that person that would be in the back because I didn't feel like I could do what everybody else was doing. And I didn't want to get picked on. Not that as an adult, I feel like somebody would pick on me in the class like they did in high school. I was that person. And then slowly but surely over time, I did start to feel a little more comfortable. And I noticed myself, especially if I went to class with friends, that we would go to the front and not the back.
Can I make a confession?
Yes.
I was always the fitness nerd that it was in the front row, right or left of the instructor. That was me. Guilty as charged.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
So amazing.
It's a good thing she was up front, so now she can teach all of us Denise Millet. That's what I think. She was
paying attention.
She was paying attention. So Kat is a movement specialist. That is her forte. And I think that when you are hurting in any way in your body, or you're off a little, Kat can do magical things, is what I'm going to say, by looking and helping you change that. And one of the things that I'm so proud of Kat for is she has a belief that everyone has a right to feel good in their body. And she lives up to that. When you and I know that, we're both part of what we call the Yacht Club. It is Small Space Pilates. And I am going to share, I'm not trying this time, I am going to share the page that if you go to Kat's website, you're going to find this little beautiful thing right here, which is SS Pilates Yacht Club. That's what we belong to. It is a community of women over 40 addressing their fitness needs while having fun. And I'm telling you, this is such a beautiful thing. You can go and you can sign up, but they also is this right here. And this is what I wanted to get to for everyone to see. It's not, am I sharing, Denise Millet? That's what I thought. Okay, so I'm back to the trying. Let me try this again. I'm laughing because it's like, wait, I don't think
if you confused, but you're on a roll.
Well, I was talking well, but I wasn't
You're
sure.
doing very, very well. Very well.
Okay, now we're going to try again. So, wait, how did Carrie used to do it? We're backing up and rewinded. Okay, let's try this again. Holy moly. So, Cat Corchado has this beautiful website. And it is showing now, right, Denise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And it is called the SS Pilates Yacht Club. That is what is so fun about it. But it is a place for all of us who are over 40 women to go and spend time with Kat, really get fit. But I want to scroll down to this little place right here. Kat lives by what she talks about in this segment of hers. She lives by this. And that is that she believes everyone has a right to feel good in their body. And this is one of the proofs and the evidence of it. She gives a complimentary week of classes and videos. Like, she does all kinds of amazing things in the video library. But she gives this away so that you can see if she is the right fit for you to help you get better. Kat also, and I'm going to stop sharing before I get sick from the scrolling. She also helps a lot of cancer patients, those who've been injured, those who are recovering from illness. It's something I didn't know until I faced it myself, that we can do a lot more, even if it's in tiny little doses, than what we really think we can. And Kat has taught me so much about how much I am capable of doing that I didn't know. I would have not believed it. Like, when I first faced what I was facing, I would not have believed I could do what I do today. And it's really thanks to Kat. So
Absolutely.
Denise and I are both hardcore fangirls. We'll call
Card carrying members.
If we could get that card, Denise.
If we could go all the time, it'd be great. Be honest, right? So, okay. Now that I've done that confession, let's move over to Yvonne. I'm sorry, were you going to say?
Well, I just want to add one more little quick thing about that. When we can't get there, the most awesome thing, Kat has given us the opportunity to have a video of the class. She gives us that so we can come and do the workout later in the day if we need it.
Whenever we can. Yes, absolutely. So we want to move over now because we're keep it moving forward.
Keep it moving, as Beth would say.
So we're heading over to Yvonne Marchese, and she is the other half of the Salty Sisters dynamic duo. She's going to talk about entrepreneurship later in life.
Yvonne Marchese is the president of the Age Agitators Club, creator of the Aging Playfully Play Shop, podcast host, published author, branding photographer, summit leader, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim. This is Yvonne Marchese coming to you as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. I'm your resident age agitator here to talk about late in life entrepreneurship. And yeah, I'm coming to you windblown, hot mess hair. I'm getting ready to do a photo session for somebody. So, and it is a windy day and we're shooting outside, and this is how I'm coming to you. Here's the good news. And this is why I thought I'd jump on camera right now. I have been researching how to grow my YouTube channel because that's what I'm working on right now. And the good news that I'm finding out is that the style of videos on YouTube are going more in the direction of talking straight to the camera, providing value, not a lot of flashy editing, not a lot of flash whiz bang. Isn't that good news? I think so. Showing up as authentic as yourself, maybe in the moment with some messy hair, is going to help you connect to your audience. And that's what they're looking for, is real, because who knows what's real anymore when you're looking at videos? Am I right? Am I right? So that's your good news for today. Take it and run with it. That's all for now. Back to you in the studio.
Oh my God, she's so inspirational and she's so right. I mean, authentic and real is tops everything, right?
That's right.
Yvonne has written a book recently, well, been a year, right? Called In Full Bloom, A Guide to Aging Playfully. And Kim's going to share some insight on what she loves about this book.
So I absolutely love everything about the book. Let me say that. But Yvonne has all kinds of beautiful pictures she's taken. She's an excellent photographer. But I want to read a cute part of this, because she also has like little stick figures and little, like, I think he's so cute. And so, midlife is an opportunity. This is your time to get to know yourself better and start living life on your terms instead of doing what you've always done in order to fit in, look good to others, or make your parents happy. And I think that is like such a great thing. And our little daisy surfing Yvonne Marchese, you
I
really
love it. Love it. It's so true. I mean, it's so true. She reminds us all to stop and think about what we're thinking before we go let it run rampant in our heads, you know. So
play. That's our
play. Yeah, yes, let's.
So let's, Denise Millet, let's go to our next segment on helping entrepreneurs be findable online with our very own accountability queen. Oh my gosh. The findability queen. Denise Millet is the findability queen, search marketing consultant, technology simplifier, host of the virtual scavenger hunt, published author, summit leader, and GME roving reporter. So what do you mean by formatting? Is there a definition for that?
Okay, so when you do a web page, there's a language, believe it or not, that is called HTML, that is a markup language. So that puts all these little cues in there for the programs to understand how to format things to show it, right? So if it's a headline, it's got a little tag that says, this is a headline, so make this big, right? You want it to be red. Here's the little tag that says, make it red. So formatting is setting those tags on your content. So when they go to visually display, they display properly, but it's also the search engines are reading those tags to understand what the most important things are.
So do the search engines read what we see on the outside of our website, or do they read the hidden language on the inside, like the HTML?
They read the HTML. They read the hidden language behind, which is what you see on the screen without the little tags, without the things that tell it what to do, how to display it. But the programs actually read the language.
Sure. Oh my goodness. So let me just give a little background really quickly for this. Denise Millet is our findability queen. She is the findability queen, but she's our findability queen. She helps all of us do incredible things on our websites. And that question came from, you know, we see all the HTML stuff if we're doing anything website-y, and we don't really know what it means. So we get to ask these questions. And so on Denise's YouTube channel, that is where you can go and find all kinds of answers to questions that you might be asking yourself about website stuff and SEO and optimization. And like, we can throw out all the big words here, but the truth is Denise makes it simple so that you can actually do something about it. Because I don't know how to read HTML, but I know how to use the website builder we use, which is Kajabi. And we love it because we don't have to read the HTML. We can like do it from the other side of the website, right, Denise?
Absolutely. And we just try to explain the things that might confuse people. Not necessarily that you have to learn everything, but just to hear some of the terms that people use and understand them. That's all. So,
well, and I want to pop the website. I want to pop the YouTube channel back up. Adam, I'm sorry. I was just too slow about it. I want to pop this up here because if you have any tech in your life, which you do, you need to go and subscribe to Denise's channel. It's at Findability Queen. She just rebranded this so to make it easy for you to find her and get some answers. But I know she's got dozens and dozens of answers coming out on the daily. Absolutely. Where you can find all kinds of things. So go and subscribe. YouTube at Findability Queen. Boom shakalaka, Denise.
Thank you, Kim.
I appreciate everything you do to take the confusion out for us. And it's important. Our website.
I love my job. I love my job. So
yes, you do.
It works out for both of us. So let's talk about our next roving reporter, which is our amazing interview king, Adam Rothenberg, with his segment on entrepreneurs and entertainment.
Adam Rothenberg is the interview king, media personality, creator of the Call Me Adam entertainment platform, published author, podcast host, red carpet correspondent, associate producer, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim. It's Adam, and I'm back in the closet for yet another edition of Behind the Curtain. And today, I want to share another excerpt from my 2023 interview with Ben Jackson Walker, who played Romeo in the hit Broadway musical and Juliet. In this clip, Ben talks about how he decides how much energy he can expend outside of the show. This is something I resonated with because as an entrepreneur, I feel I am constantly deciding the best way to spend my energy.
I mean, I love that you say that you have to be aware of what's going on with you to know whether you can take that extra step to maybe go out. If your friends are like, hey, let's go out, whatever night of the week it is, and you have to decide how are you feeling, whether or not you could expend that extra energy or if you really need to reserve it for yourself and your performance.
Yeah. I'm somebody who experiences a lot of FOMO, and I like to say yes to everything. So I really have had to get good at being like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So sorry, I can't. Which is hard. It's hard for me.
Well, the next time you are conflicted about how you should spend your energy, I hope you'll think of this clip and it will help you make the right decision for you. That is today's Behind the Curtain story. It's back to you in the GME studio.
I tell you, Kim, every week the Behind the Curtain story is just brings little gold flecks into your life about how other people deal with life. And that's kind of what I love about what Adam does on his entertainment platform, callmeadam.com, where he shares stories and interviews that are more than just flat, like tell me the facts. He really talks to people and I love it. So
1.3 million visitors later, let me just say that to his platform. That is an amazing, it really is amazing, Denise. A lot of that's thanks to your help with helping Adam understand what to do to his website. And it's a big deal, but he does have a digest you can sign up for, so you get to be the first to know. Like there's a whole lot goes into that, and we just wanted to share this home screen of his website so that you could see.
Tons of stuff.
So very exciting.
Well, what do you think, Kim? Is it time for our amazing segment on Princess Speak? Yes, I guess so.
Yes, sorry, yes.
Okay.
We're having a little technical
difficulty. We are having a little technical difficulty.
Okay.
But Princess
laughing because it's like, we get it. We understand sometimes when you push buttons and they don't work. We understand this stuff. But Princess Speak is a simple business language for entrepreneurs that our community uses on the daily. And I think the rest of the crew is coming up. But our word of the week or words of the week is bubble up. So this is something that it's kind of humorous when somebody says this, I guess. We all know what it means. We all live with Princess Speak, just saying.
Oh.
But bubble up are those things that come up inside of you that they're not as random as like you suddenly get this idea. A bubble up is something that is kind of shaken loose on the inside of you and comes to the top. So maybe you have a really long list of things you want to do in your lifetime, but when it comes time or you're getting ready to do something in particular, those things can bubble up and be on the surface instead of buried down deep. So it's something that's kind of shaken loose inside of you and you recognize it as such. So bubble ups are amazing.
Bubble ups in business are amazing, but I find they're tied to emotions and what you believe, and there's so many different pieces to the web of how they come about to be. But if you're quiet enough, you hear more of them. And I think for me, that's been more of the key is having more time to reflect and think about stuff. And I don't mean meditating for hours. I just mean, take that half hour in the middle of the day and really just think about nothing and see what you think about, so that's how I go with bubble up, is letting things come to the surface too.
Love it, Denise.
I love that, Denise, what you just said. I think bubble up for me it's like this little inkling, little thought, and you may write it down, you may not, but it keeps coming back. And it gets bigger and it gets bigger. So you say, well, maybe I should do something about this. And so, I mean, even if it is a business, you've been thinking about a business for a while and it keeps coming up and then you have more ideas and you have more thoughts, and just do it. So I think that's what a bubble up is.
Love it, Kat.
I ditto what everybody has said, and I will add to bubble up. For me, it happens when the same thought keeps coming back inside my mind over and over again. There's a reason I can't shake it. And do I have time to give a quick example? Mm-hmm. Okay, so for example, I'm going to go with my book. I was all ready to finally release it this week, but then upon one final read through, I discovered more than half of my QR codes that I have in my book didn't work. And I kept going back to it. I do need to wait and get that fixed. I could have just released it and fixed it in a few months, but I didn't want to do that because when people buy it, I want it to be, in my mind, perfect. So it kept coming back to me, wait, despite what other people were saying to me about releasing it. So since it kept coming up, to me, that's bubbling up.
And you were right to wait, Adam. You gave a great example, not only now, but you gave a great example in groundwork this week, because you were talking about if someone ordered it and you knew that the code didn't work, you would feel bad and you would want them to have a new copy. So it just tells on you, Adam, of how tender your heart is and how much you care about everyone who's going to get the book, because the book is amazing.
It is. And I also have to say about bubbling up, Kim, is we have to be honest with people too. It's not always easy for people to let things bubble up, especially when you're on the train of having to do. So there are lots of things that you can do to help yourself bubble up, whether it's exercise or whether it's drawing or writing or things that distract your mind so that some of the subconscious stuff can come out. So you focus some of your dexterity and some other things, and that lets your mind release some ideas too. So don't feel like you're missing it or you're not doing it right if you're not feeling inspired, because you might just have to give your body a chance.
Can I just add something to what Denise said? Is that sometimes you have things bubble up, but it's not the right time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's important to write it down, because there's going to come a time where you go, oh yeah. And then everything starts to fall into place. So just because it bubbles up and you can't do anything about it at that moment, it's okay. Write it down, because the time will come when you're able to put that into action.
Absolutely.
Can I just...
Oh, go ahead, Adam.
Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead, Kim.
Well, I just wanted to say that sometimes we have to get prepared, is why it bubbles up earlier than it's ready. Is we've got to get prepared for whatever it is. So I love that. Go, Adam.
And I was just going to say, if you can't write it down, you could always break out into song. Why do you bubble up? Do you get the parody?
Oh my goodness.
Only Adam has songs to everything we ever talk about.
Start a dance party at the end of the show here. Why not, right? But
I think this is an exciting time that we live in, actually, because of the fact that we can do so many things. Like, I think we are very blessed in the fact that we can have a business. We can be entrepreneurs. And, I know that was much harder before we had online things. That was much harder. It had to be local. And now we can be global in an instant because of the things we do. I think the theme of the show is so fitting as we roll into what I'm calling my melty season, but it's Hope to Hope season. And one of the things that's bubbling up for me again today, which bubbles up often at this time of year, is just to remember that we're here to give you examples. We're here to give you ideas and suggestions. It doesn't mean you have to do what we're doing. We just want you to know that you're not alone in whatever you're doing in life. You're not alone in business. You're not alone in the hard. There's a lot of hard things we all go through as just humans, but add entrepreneur on top, and there's a whole nother level of hard. And we don't want you to look at us being judgy, because that's not it at all. We really want you all to understand you don't have to be alone in this, and you can have a life you love. You can have a business you love, and you can go through hard things. Like Kat said earlier in the show, remind yourself you're going to get through. You're going to be okay.
I love that, Kim.
I'm very excited, y'all. Can you tell? And I'm trying not to be too melty on air, but we appreciate all of you joining us today and watching. We appreciate you every week, and we hope you'll come back next week. We'll have another lively show. I will say that we'll have another lively show. But whatever you're doing in life right now, we hope we have inspired you today, and we hope you carry that out to inspire someone else. And we hope that Donna Bender, wherever you are with your Who Will You Inspire today, we hope we're making you proud with us saying that out loud. But let those bubble ups come out of you, sweet entrepreneur, and follow your heart. So love y'all.
Love y'all.
Join us next Friday at 7 a.m. Central. This is the team signing off for Good Morning Entrepreneurs.